who is the potential conference champion in the ACC.
Before we get into content, folks, we're doing a giveaway. We are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we'll be giving the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. If you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button.
Hit it.
Hit that notification bell.
Hit it.
So you don't miss out on that giveaway. And also smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Boom, I appreciate it.
Our ACC predictions when it comes to who we think is going to run away with the conference. Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go through it. We're going to pick a dark horse, a runner-up, and a conference champion for the ACC. Mm-hmm. We don't talk about who picked what or why. Let's go ahead and get into it. My dark horse actually, you do your dark horse this time.
All right. I have my dark horse as Louisville.
Nice.
So they're coming off of a 10-win season last year, and they also played for the ACC championship last year as well. They did get an upgrade at the quarterback position with transfer of Tyler Show from Texas Tech. He did struggle with injuries, being the main concern for him there, and also one of my main concerns and why they're still going to be a dark horse versus runner-up. But that's still an upgrade. And their defense is highly ranked in the conference with 7 returning starters for that team. So as far as my dark horse, I'm picking Louisville.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, actually. I got Louisville as well for my dark horse. Like you mentioned, they got a big name transfer in Tyler Show. This guy was this guy started his career at Oregon.
Right.
That's big time. If you can play football at the University of Oregon as a quarterback, you're big time. That's what they do. They recruit quarterbacks and they send them to the league. He did have some tough seasons at Texas Tech. He fought some injuries here and there. And now he's with the Cards as a senior. But he had a really good couple of strong games to finish out that Texas Tech season. And I think he's got a huge opportunity to make some quick traction with the Cardinals heading into this season. Head coach Jeff Brom had a great season last year. Like you mentioned, they won 10 games, only lost 4. They did make it to the ACC Conference Championship game. They didn't look great.
No.
But they were there, right? And that's huge. The fact is this team's not sneaking up on anyone. You win 10 games in a conference, especially a conference like the ACC, people know that you have talent. Mm-hmm. On3, the recruiting site, the portal On3 has them as the number 1 transfer portal class in the country for this transfer portal cycle. So these guys got some big talent.
Yeah.
And I think they definitely got a chance to be the dark horse in the conference.
Yeah, we agree on our dark horse. That's awesome. Again, like you said, we don't really share this beforehand. So let's hopefully the rest of this video doesn't go that way, because if we pick the same 3 teams, it's just going to be for a bad video.
Yeah, terrible.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with runner-up. So I'm going to go with my runner-up, if that's all right with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going with Clemson. I have Clemson as my runner-up. They are coming off of season. They're coming off of last year's season, 2023, with 5 straight wins. So they definitely have the momentum of coming into this year with confidence. They do have a full year of prep underneath second-year offensive coordinator in Garrett Riley, which should net some positives for sure. I do like their quarterback. They have Cade Klubnik. I like this kid. I'm sure he's going to have some solid progression this year, showing that true Heisman buzz level of talent that he had going into last year. That they did stumble. They go 2-2, and that kind of fall off for him. But I think the talent's there, and you can't argue with the talent there that he has there. And I think year underneath his belt, a little bit of experience, and then again, second year for their offensive coordinator is going to make a huge amount of improvement for them. But I do really think the reason why Clemson's going to be in it this year is going to be their defense. They finished top 10 last year in the country when it comes to defensive rating. They also forced 28 turnovers last year, which is tied for the lead for the whole nation. They also have Barrett Carter, which he easily passed up a chance to get drafted in the NFL to return for one more season with Clemson. So, yeah, I think they are looking good this year.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think Clemson is going to be a very tough team. I do not think they're going to be the runner-up. My runner-up is going to be Florida State.
Okay.
Now, yes, I completely understand these guys were ACC champions.
Here come the comments.
They got snubbed out of the national championship game. That conversation's here nor there, right? The fact was they lost their quarterback. Jordan Travis was the guy. He wasn't healthy. He couldn't make it. Overpassed, done with. Yep. Let's move on. This team is going to be really talented. They did a great job in the recruiting portal. And I would honestly pick these guys to be conference champions if they had anybody but DJU as the quarterback. He did have an okay season at Oregon State last year. He had 2,638 yards. He tossed 21 interceptions to 7 touchdowns, which is not a bad rate. He will have more receiving talent around him this year at Florida State because they did do a really good job out of the transfer portal. He had some good receivers at Oregon State, though. I mean, Silas Bolden, he had some good guys out there. I don't know. I'm not convinced. If DJU can come out and absolutely just prove it and take these games, and I'll own this one, right?
Gotcha.
Absolutely. This is a talented team. They killed in the transfer portal. I just think they missed on the quarterback, man.
I get you. Okay. Well, Florida State fans, I got your back this week. So I'm going to tell you why Florida State's going to be conference champions this year.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Again, they won their conference last year.
Yeah.
Which is, for me, until you beat
in an ugly game,
they still won the conference. And until you've proven that you can beat the guys that won, to me, that means something still. They're only bringing back 8 starters from last year, but they did get key transfers on both sides of the ball, like you mentioned. With the defense, they have Marvin Jones Jr. on the edge as an edge rusher from Georgia, who is, by the way, number one team in the year in the country this year. They also have defensive back Earl Little Jr. from Alabama, poised to make an impact as well.
Yep.
And then on the offensive side, get ready for a bunch of Crimson Tide folk here, because what they did is they got Alabama transfers of Roydell Williams, which is a running back. They also have Keziah Holmes that's also coming in, as well as Lawrence Tuafili. And they also netted Malik Benson, who could easily become that number one option at receiver. I think that's also an Alabama transfer. I think that'll definitely I think that's going to help. I think that they just made killing on the transfer portal and pulled a bunch of players from Alabama, who, by the way, won the SEC. So I think that they're still going to be in a great state to repeat this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Florida State, I got them as my runner-up.
Nice.
If it wasn't for DJU, maybe they're there. My conference champion, little bit different, though. I'm going to go with the Miami Hurricanes.
Okay, break it down. Why is Miami going to win the conference?
I can tell you why.
Okay. Tell me why.
Cam Ward.
Okay.
That's the very first starting, right? This dude is a ridiculously talented quarterback. He had a great season with a struggling Washington State team. He threw for 3,735 yards, 25 touchdowns, while only throwing 7 interceptions. In this kid, they're getting a really veteran player that can absolutely command an offense, which is really important. He makes good decisions. And then you add another veteran running back in Damian Martinez out of Oregon State. This kid's just an absolute workhorse, man. He's going to open up things for the downfield throws for Cam Ward. He's going to continue to get yards between the tackles. He's a good pass blocker. And then Mario Cristobal has just done a really good job reloading this roster top to bottom. I just think that they have an absolute chance of shaking things up. They do got a tough game to start the season. They go to Florida and play in the Swamp. Obviously, we saw how tough it is to play in the Swamp a couple of years ago when the Utes were there.
Yes.
Ended in a big L for Utah. It's just a tough place to play.
For sure.
So that's going to be a tough way to start the season. But they do get Florida State at home at Hard Rock Stadium, which is important in that ACC standings, right, on whether they have a chance. Again, they do have to win a conference championship game to be conference champions. This is a good football team. I like the addition of Cam Ward. I like the addition of Damian Martinez, a couple of previous Pac-12 guys. And I think they just got a real shot, man. I think they can win it all.
I like it. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of romanticism about former Pac-12 players. We want to hear what you think, folks. Let us know in the comments down below. Let us know what you thought of our rankings there for the ACC.
Let's hear it, Clemson fans. I know it's coming.
Did we leave your team out? Did we not even mention them in our top 3 options there? Let us know in the comments down below how far off we were. We'd love to hear from you folks. And also, if you agree with our rankings, we'd love to hear from you on that as well.
Yeah.
Very few of those folks doing that. So we want to make sure we give a shout out to people who do like our comments.